It's amazing that we would need to even confirm this or emphasize this today. You would think a Muslim says, I have no problem saying that Allah is all capable, can do anything, Allah is all powerful, no limits on His capabilities. Yet what do we find today? People saying, no, there are many things Allah cannot do. Comes off of the tongue of a so-called Muslim that he says, not only are there things Allah cannot do, I'll give you a list of 1,000 things Allah can't do. Then he begins to mention impossibilities and things, philosophy. Allah can't make a short man tall at the same time. And you want to say out of your mouth that Allah can't do everything. And you want the shock factor of that. You want all the heads to turn to you. And Allah Ta'ala says He is above all things with qudra. وَعَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. You have a comment, you have a footnote to say. No, not really. There are many things He cannot do. This is intellectualism that's based on philosophy that has no place in Islam. Allah Ta'ala is all capable of all things. And sometimes they say, well, Allah can't oppress us. Pay attention. Allah can't oppress you. Is Allah praiseworthy because He's unable to oppress you? Or is He praiseworthy because He can oppress you and out of His wisdom and love and grace for you, He doesn't? The wall can't oppress you. Is the wall praiseworthy for not oppressing you? In terms of what is praiseworthy, when someone has the ability to harm you and to oppress you from the human beings here. Someone can oppress you. He's bigger than you. He's more powerful than you. He has more status than you, whatever. He could do something to oppress you. But He treats you as His brother and He loves you and He's graceful in His dealings with you and He never oppresses you. Don't you say this person is praiseworthy? Because He has the ability to oppress, but He doesn't. Right? That's within the human beings. Do you say about a paraplegic who can't move that he's praiseworthy for not oppressing me? Do you praise him for not oppressing when he doesn't have the ability to oppress? Allahul Musta'an. Look at that, right? So Allah Ta'ala, look at what Allah has said about Himself. Inni haramtu dhulma ala nafsi. I made oppression haram upon myself. Allah has declared that He will not oppress you. وَمَا رَبُّكَ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. And Allah is not going to oppress His servants or the servants. Who comes and says because He can't? Who would come along and say He's not going to oppress you because He's unable to oppress you? He's incapable of oppressing you. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. ما قدر الله حق قدره. And they have not given Allah a fair estimate at all. They have not understood their Lord. Allah Ta'ala says, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعْجِزَهُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَلَا فِي الْأَرْضِ إِنَّهُ كَانَ عَلِيمًا قَدِيرًا. It is not for Allah that anything be beyond His capabilities in the heavens or on earth. Verily He is all-knowing and all-capable. It's sad that we even have to emphasize this point, but there are people calling themselves Muslims that say what? We cannot, that's not the correct teaching in Islam to say Allah can do anything. It's not proper, it's not correct for us to say Allah can do anything and everything. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. These kinds of people need to be quiet. They need to shut their mouths. They need to praise Allah and say, Huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir, and be quiet. He is above all things with capability. Who is going to inhibit, restrict, or limit the power and capability of Rabbul Alameen? That's ridiculous. And to claim so boldly to say, I have a list of things that Allah cannot do. This is any ridda, ma ba'daha ridda. Apostasy. What apostasy is after this? When you say you have a list of things that you know of that Allah can't do. La hawla wa la